What is up, guys? Happy Friday. Today is backtesting Friday, so let's go ahead and continue. Giovanni was the first one to respond, and he wants to go ahead and look at some gold. So let's go and head that way. All right, cool. So we actually talked about this last week, actually. Who remembers we talked about this? Right, we talked about this on Monday this week, right? About higher time frame, going from the monthly all the way down to the 4 hour, possibly even the 1 hour, right? So we were already expecting rejections off of this zone because we had to break a structure here to the upside, right? So as we drop down to lower time frame, not only that, let's go back up real quick. Not only that, right? Not only that, we do have this change of direction right here, right? So as the market is coming to the next best buy zone, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, right? We change direction. So this would be my left shoulder, my neckline, my head, and then my change of direction. We are waiting for rejections to go higher here, or we're waiting for the rejections off the right shoulder to continue going higher. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Right, so things are still cooking. Whoever took buys off of this starting point is in profit as of right now. But things are still going fairly slowly, right? You can see I don't really trade gold, so I didn't really continue to mark this up as of this previous Monday. But guys, I need to adjust my lines, right? These should not be here. Where should this BOS be? This should not be right here. I should have adjusted this one right here. If you could delete those, that would be amazing. Let's go, Jennifer. Let's go. My BOS line should be right here, right? Where should my change of direction line be? Let's go, Jennifer. Locked in. Locked in. And let me tell you why. Give me a second. Let me tell you why, right? If we trap the market, right? Notice how we have consolidation here, right? Then we have a breakout. So the breakout is very slight, very, very slight. But we do have a breakout here, right? So that would be a break of structure to the downside. So let's just keep it very simple, right? Breakout, pullback. We have a low wick here, and the market pushes lower, giving me a break of structure to the downside. Now, we were waiting for this change of direction to go higher. So obviously, this zone is in profit as of today, and it closed in profit. But to continue, right, we would like the market to make its way, close above, so we can look for some more buy opportunities and shift the market in its bullish trend. Now, if it doesn't, and if this zone holds, right, because, you know, Sunday market can open, market can hang out right here, and then just continue dropping lower, right? So if you're looking to continue buys, or maybe you haven't even bought yet, we want the market to break and close above. We want this. We want this. Break and close above, retest, find your zone right here, find your entry, and then continue going higher. That's what we want. Breakout, starting point on right shoulder, continue going higher. But if the market does not break and close above, and we do not change direction, the market can hold this level and continue making new lows, especially since we want the market to go lower for better entries anyway, right? That can definitely happen. Give me a 1 if that makes sense. What? Hold up. Where's my chats at? Okay. I was like, yo, what? I was so confused right now. Awesome. Cool. So understanding that, right? Let's just take a look at what the market was doing on the way back down, because we're looking for some possible buys, but the market's obviously making structure. So let's go ahead and take a look at lower time frame. Boy, that is ugly, right? That's pretty ugly. Now, again, guys, right? If we're looking for some possible buys, notice how ugly they make these counter trend sells. These aren't anything pretty. So if you're looking at this, understand you guys do not have to take counter trends. Like if we can give it to you, okay, cool. Right. But anything inside of here is honestly looking fairly choppy. And honestly, it looks better for us going for buys. Why? Right? Why? Because if we're looking to continue buys and we get this change of direction, the more liquidity that we can build on the way back down, the better. Right? Whether it starts moving sideways, whatever the case may be, trend line trading, right? Trend line structure. No matter, like, if we can build liquidity and the market gives me this entry that we're looking for, guys, the market wants to target all of this liquidity, right? Everybody who is looking to counter trend, we want to go ahead and take those guys out. Does that make sense? Give me a 2 if that makes sense, right? Obviously, they're looking to ride these, trend line zones, and that's okay. Let them do what they got to do. But we know we're waiting down here in these areas, right? If we can get an entry, all this, guys, are targets, right? Especially if we have like something like equal highs right here. That's a solid target right there. We have equal highs here. That's a solid target. Let's say we had some equal highs here as well. That's a solid target. These are all take profits, right? So as we come back this way, we're waiting for buys, right? Look at all this liquidity being built up for us, right? We still haven't got full on confirmation, but look at all this liquidity being built up for us, right? The market can do the same thing. The market can hold this zone, create some more, and then just continue dropping down. If you see that, no worries, mark it up. The market isn't done cooking yet. We know the market wants, we're looking for buys, right? But it hasn't gave us the solid confirmation. Now, look at this. Look at the structure. If I'm looking at a head and shoulder, right? I don't want my head and shoulders to look like this. Consolidation, breakout, equal lows, change of directions. I don't want my head and shoulders to look like that. All that tells me is we have equal lows here. This is probably not the head and shoulder I want to take, right? Because if we have liquidity right here and someone is looking to buy along this area, they're baiting you. The banks are baiting you. Most likely what they're going to do, they'll probably give you some profit, and then they're going to go ahead and smack this, take this liquidity, and then I want the head and shoulder that looks like this with a clean sweep, then a change of direction. So anytime we have something that looks like equal lows with the change of direction, not really my favorite head and shoulders, right? I like these if it's just a wick or a breaking close and then a reversal. Does that make sense? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. And this is how you can start anticipating. Like this right here, if it was just this would be like a C grade, D grade setup. If I'm looking at it like a head and shoulder, that's not the cleanest head and shoulder, right? That's a D grade, C grade head and shoulder, right? I want A pluses. I want the liquidity sweep. If I had something that looked like this, awesome, because then we have a solid a solid spike to the downside, a solid change of direction. This is an A plus setup. You guys see the difference? Liquidity was taken. Liquidity was built up and taken and didn't leave any, right? But when you look at it like this, liquidity was taken, right? But it also left some. So in the future, we're expecting the market to go ahead, sweep that, and then continue going higher. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. Because if we can identify this, then we can anticipate moves and we can start waiting and being patient, right? So as we come down here, look at this, right? This zone has to hold, right? It either changes direction or it's going to hold and continue down. But look at what market left us. Is this a clean head and shoulder? Well, obviously the market needs to change direction. But if the market changes direction, is this a clean head and shoulder, or did the market leave liquidity? It left liquidity, right? It left liquidity. So if the market does not change direction, the market can literally hold this zone and come back to attack this liquidity even deeper inside this starting point. And if we can have something that looks like this with the change of direction, then this would be something I would start participating in so we can shift that market higher. Makes sense, guys. But if this does not happen, then the market may continue dropping down. Now, I ain't gonna lie, from way up here to way down here, that's a nice little drop. That's not a bad counter trend, right? If the market can give you something clean, again, I only go for A grade setups. I'm not really looking to risk my capital on, C or D grade setups. What does that mean? So I'm hit with the trend. You feel me? What is that? Is that a phone?
That means fax.
Oh, that's a fax machine? I
Bro,
bet.
that's a fax machine. You sleep.
I'm unk,
Sorry,
bro.
Grandpa.
I'm 30.
Sorry, Grandpa.
30 going on 40, big dog.
Stupid. Sorry, I'm young and turnt. Nah, look, get back to the Zoom.
Unk. Hey, y'all foul, bro. All right, guys. Does this make sense, though? Give me a 5 if this is making sense. Does anybody have any questions about this? Any questions? Any questions at all? Because honestly, I'm not even, this isn't even worth back testing because that shit's ugly. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I wouldn't even be looking to get into anything right there, to be honest. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, we're still waiting. Let's go ahead and see what Etney sent us. You guys can see this chart, right? You guys can see this? Okay, cool. What is this? GBPUSD. I do like this. I do like this setup down here. But let's take a look. Let's take a look. I do like this area, and it also goes hand in hand, right? We can see this setup was already taken. Market gave us that change of direction, came right back into that right shoulder and took off. Literally happened super quick. So if you weren't paying attention, it left without you. Boom, change of direction, happened. But now we have this. We have break of structure, change of direction, and your buy area is in, I wouldn't say the exact same, but it's in a similar zone, right? So if that can hold, if this area can hold, and we can have something that looks like this, boom, would love to get in there, shift the market higher. But the only thing is, what time frame are we on? I'm not sure. I can't really tell. What time frame is this? 1 hour? Okay, let's go to GBPUSD. All right, I have that same zone. And the market is uptrending in this specific area. And it looks like it's happening very, very aggressively, pushing very, very aggressively. Now, the thing is we're at a weekly, monthly starting point area. But honestly, the way this looks, right, is it looks like this might be just a massive reversal. Well, it's going to take time, obviously, but it looks like it could be on its way. We have consolidation. We have a clean sweep. Now notice it didn't leave liquidity and then take off. It literally swept liquidity and started heading out. And it built liquidity up here. So yes, the market may come back. This area could possibly respect, and we can have something that comes back, sweeps this, and then continues higher, right? But right now it's just a waiting game. And we have fresher zones way up here. Fresher sell zones are way up here. We have liquidity being built up, and we have a shoulder zone way up here, right? This is a monthly. You can't really see it, but it's pullback. This wick is the head, change of direction, and then we never come back to that zone. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like on the weekly, just so I can show y'all. Boom. Consolidation. Market sweeps with a nice sharp wick. Notice it didn't leave liquidity. It took it and then immediately ran to the downside. right? So I'm waiting for some possible sells up in this area. Now notice the market came back, left liquidity, left liquidity. Realistically, we have equal highs here and equal highs here, but I didn't want two lines, so I just put it like this, right? So that's a lot. There's a lot of liquidity right here, and this would be a perfect counter trend trade. Not saying this might smack to the wholesale, but you know, if we can get a nice little push at the downside just for a little bit and then continue, like this is the weekly time frame. This can be like 300-400 pips. You know what I'm saying? So that is a nice A grade setup for sure. Now let's go ahead and drop down to this specific area. Let's go to the weekly. Now that we know that the market is in an uptrend, right? Market is uptrending. This is the next best buy opportunity that's close to live price. It's either down here, right? We have consolidation, liquidity sweep. We continue going higher, right? So we're waiting down here. But the thing is it looks like the market swept liquidity, because notice how all of these zones are not really dropping down all the way to give us entries. It happens, right? How can we prevent that? I don't want to be missed, Vinny. I don't want to be missed. Okay, cool. I get you. This is the thing. Let's delete this. My goodness. Now, this is the thing, right? We have to understand liquidity. And when momentum is heavy, the market sometimes they don't come back to these zones. Now, how can we play this, right? If we can identify liquidity, notice how the market is respecting this area and we're now creating equal lows, okay? So this is what I'm expecting. This is how I am thinking right now, right? I'm either expecting the market to drop down and come pick me up and change direction so we can take off, right? That's option A, where I have to wait, or option B, where the market creates extra liquidity, creates these equal lows, the market sweeps the liquidity, and then we change direction. When this happens, the market will most likely leave this and save this for later. Because when the market is trending, the market's trending, just like this, right? I wanted to buy right here. I wanted to buy right here, but look at what the market did. Right? If I'm looking to take some buy opportunities, let's go to the higher time frame. Best buy opportunity is right here. Let's drop down to the 8 hour, see if we can catch something. The 8 hour says it's right here. This is the last selling candle before the break of structure to the upside. Okay, so we can stay on this time frame. Now, look what the market is doing. After we break structure to the upside, notice, yes, the market is continuing to give opportunities, right? The market is giving opportunities. Continue going higher. We break structure to the upside. Market is hanging out around this zone now. But look, if we have fresh zones down here, we also have liquidity being built up. Sometimes you are part of the liquidity and you don't even know it until the market just stops moving and we start just hanging out in this area. And you're like, oh shit, I was part of the liquidity right here, right? Then you have to realize that and understand, well, if the market starts ranging, it's best that we wait, stop taking trades, and wait for opportunities down here. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. Because there will be times where the market will give you opportunities. BOS, it'll give you the opportunity. BOS, it'll give you the opportunity. BOS, it'll give you the opportunity. But look at what it's creating. And you don't even realize it till you're like, oh shit. Or actually, I've been participating in building the trendline liquidity, knowing we still have really good buy opportunities down here. Okay. So now look, check me out. I can already see the liquidity. So there's two things that we're waiting for, right? We're either waiting right here, we're standing on business right here, or we wait for this liquidity to be swept and then change direction. We're waiting for option A, where we change direction after sweeping liquidity, right? Let's go ahead and sweep liquidity. Or option B, where the market pushes all the way down, gives us an entry, then changes direction and takes off. We're looking for one of these two when the market is heavily trending. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Because it's important. If you can't spot the liquidity and you're just waiting down here, sometimes you're going to miss this opportunity and you're going to be missed and you will always be waiting. Not a bad thing, right? But if you can anticipate things, even better, right? So let's go ahead. Market's creating liquidity, right? Let's go ahead. Do you stay on the same time frame until we see liquidity being swept? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What exactly? Like, what is your thought process when you're like, do you stay on the same time frame until we see liquidity being swept? Well, I guess I can see it like this, right? Let's say your daily pullback. I can see this on the daily as well. But let's say the daily pullback is here and then the market drops. If this is the setup, right? If this is the setup on the daily time frame, liquidity was just swept, I would have to wait for the market to change direction here in order to start looking for some buy opportunities, right? But if we drop down to the 4 hour or the 1 hour and we can see this, right? Market just swept liquidity. We change direction here. We can take opportunities in this area and catch this change of direction. Same move will be happening right here. We're trying to catch this. I'm trying to catch this setup right here, guys. Does that make sense? So I can see this on the daily, but if I want to catch this opportunity as low as possible, I have to drop down to at least the 4 hour or 1 hour time frame. Does that make sense, guys? That way I can see something that looks like this, because the daily structure will be too big. And sometimes like this is the daily setup, but the 4 hour and 1 hour setup is way down here. Does that make sense, guys? And I'll show you right now as we play this out. The daily setup will look totally different than the 4 hour, 1 hour setup. So let's go ahead. So let's go to the daily real quick. That way we can use this as an example. Notice the daily change of direction at this point is right here because it just broke structure. So let's take a look. Boom. We broke structure right here. Notice we still got missed and my change of direction is now there. So I can't take a buy until we change direction and then the market comes back for me so we can take the market up. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Right? If we break this down, this is how it looks. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. Lower low. We need to change direction on the daily time frame. But on that 4 hour, on that 1 hour, we can possibly have a little bit of structure where we can possibly catch this trade even lower, about right here. Boom, and shift that market higher. Okay, so let's drop down. Okay, on the 4 hour, we still can't see it. Let's drop down to the 1 hour. Boom. That would be my BOS. This would have been, well, if the market gave it to me, I would have been looking for that as my change of direction. If you were playing this on the 15, it probably gave you something on the 15. Let's drop down. Yeah, you know, if you're looking to play this a bit aggressive on the 15, then that's the play. That's the opportunity. It literally does everything we could have asked for. Now, if this, it doesn't look like it gave us an entry, or maybe it just missed us. Woo-hoo-hoo! Crazy. That would be my stop loss. And we had just caught, right? We were missed. We were looking to catch this entry right here at this green box, but the market changes direction. And I kind of like this play for two reasons, right? I like this play for two reasons. Because we create structure, and notice we come down sharp. Guys, do we make more liquidity and then take off? No, we didn't, right? We made structure. We would have wanted to get in here, but notice as soon as it drops, it redirects right away, and then now it leaves liquidity as a target. It's saying, hey, come get me. So as the market drops and gives us an entry, this would have been TP1, target 1. If the market continues going higher, thank you, Jesus, for doing me a solid. Does that make sense? Give me a 2 if that makes sense. So for those two reasons alone, I would have participated in this trade. Let me know. I really don't trade GBPUSD too often, to be honest. I usually just trade AU and USD CAD, to be real. But this structure is actually very, very clean. Now, if the structure looked like this and it was just like very, very choppy and just choppy, and then we kind of go out, like I'm not really willing to risk that, because then we just built trendline liquidity. Right, then we just built trendline liquidity right here. And the market can just go ahead, take this, and then change direction and take off. But guys, understand what I'm trying to show you right now, right? A lot of you guys won't understand until you zoom out. Some people are on lower time frames, or they're even getting caught just with the structure, right? But notice what they're enticing you with. They're enticing you with the BOS and the change of character, but sometimes you miss this liquidity being built up, right? So they're enticing you. They're saying, hey, go ahead. There's a buy opportunity right here. This is like a solid C grade setup, but hey, you can risk some capital here. You know, it won't hurt nobody. You could just use good risk management. You know, at the end of the day, if you use good money management, good risk management, calculate your trade, you should be all right, buddy. But they want to entice you. They want you to participate. And then you do. And then what happens? It may give you some profit. And then it goes and smacks your stop loss. And then it changes direction and goes your way. But what did it just build? Some of us don't see it until it's too late. I want you guys to look at this for a couple seconds. And let me know if you see anything specific. I want you guys to draw it on my chart if you can see it. Give me an 8 if you can see it, and give me a question mark if you cannot. Give me an 8 if you can see it, and give me a question mark if you can't. There's 28 on here, and there's only 3 who can see it. So I assume that about 20 so of you cannot see it, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and break it down. They were enticing you with buys here, right? They wanted you to take buys here. But notice what they did. Break a structure, or they swept liquidity, and then they change direction. So they enticed you They said, hey, come outside and play. Come outside and play. There's a setup. There's a solid C grade setup right here for you, bro. They entice you, they smack your stop loss, and then they go. Guys, if that happens, sucks to suck. All right. You got enticed, you got tricked, you got fooled, but you now have a setup. Does that make sense? Where you were looking to take opportunities is now your left shoulder. The area that swept your liquidity is now your head, and we change direction. We have left shoulder, head, change of direction, massive move. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, guys. This right here, guys, happens a lot on lower time frames. If you're on the 1 minute or the 5 minute, guys, this happens a lot. A lot. They know, guys, everybody is a scalper. Nobody's swinging. Nobody wants to wait for money, guys. Nobody wants to wait for money. Everybody wants money right now. So they know everybody is scalping the 1 minute and 5 minute. So they give you some structure that looks like this so you can take opportunities. They hit your stop loss and then they go higher. All the time. I'm telling you, all the time. All the time. So you could have caught this opportunity to shift the market higher, but it looks like, you know, it's cooking. Another one is cooking as we speak. Right? This would be my BOS. We're waiting for that change of direction. Awesome. Starting point here. Wow, don't tell me it was missed. And then we have a shoulder here. Come give me some, bro. Don't, why you gotta play like that? Come on, give me some, baby. That was a snipe, bro. Talk to me nice. Market takes off. What a snipe. Okay, hold on. Let's reevaluate real quick. Where are we at in the market? Okay, I think this is live price now. Okay, yeah. So now we're here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Starting point. This is let me see. Is this live price? Oh, hell no. That's funny. So okay. So now we're here, but the same thing could be happening, right? Market was just swept. Market was just swept. Look at what we have. Now, in my opinion, this is even cleaner because this is the 4-hour time frame. Market swept liquidity. And then we have the early change of direction here. I would like to see if we can hold this zone to continue going higher. Would like to see if we can continue going higher right there. Let's go to the daily. I don't like how this looks. This looks like it wants to get taken out for sure. I really like buys down here though, guys. So if this does not hold, it's okay. Don't get emotional. Don't worry. We have really good opportunities down here, like really good opportunities, right? We have a left shoulder down here, and we have a starting point right here, actually, which is looking pretty nice. And these are untapped zones. And if I put the fib on it, I know some of you guys are fib guys. 886 is way down here. So we have some good opportunities. So it's okay if that doesn't hold. Sometimes, you know, we like to take opportunities as they come because of the history that has repeated itself. So, you know, just like this lower time frame that happened right here, we're looking to see if the history can repeat itself and respect the zone and continue going higher. But if it doesn't, it's okay. We run our risk to reward. Don't over leverage because Vinny said there's an opportunity coming. You know, take your loss like a boss. It's okay. No worries. Wear it on the chin. Now, if we can have an opportunity and we could change direction here, bam, this is where I want to go ahead and take these highs. We can continue going higher, right? I really like these areas, to be honest. right? To be honest, everything just looks clean. Even this right here, even this zone right here, right? Let's break this zone down. Notice, guys, we break structure to the downside. We have a BOS, and then we change direction. Now, notice, as soon as we change direction, what does the market do? Change direction, and then we create equal lows and consolidate. And then we take off, right? So they left liquidity right here. So even though this is a starting point, honestly, I will like this starting point to get swept. I really like this zone. Matter of fact, I'm just going to delete it because I like this zone. This is a solid setup right here. Textbook setup. We changed direction. Liquidity was built, left equal lows to get swept in the future. Now we're just waiting, right? Now, again, because this is kind of far, right? Kind of far. This is around 200 pips, right? If this sell gets clapped or this buy gets clapped, I want to show you guys how to adapt when market conditions change, right? This is giving me buy opportunity vibes all day just based off of structure, right? Now, if we take a loss, I want you guys to know how to get back in if you wish, right? Because we don't have to take any sales here. We can just wait for the next buy. But if you wish, because with 200 pips, that's some good money right there. 200 pips, I ain't gonna lie, that's a pretty decent counter trend. But if it was like 15 pips on the 5 minute, 1 minute, I'm not really interested in 15 pips counter trending, to be honest. But if the market makes its way, hits our stop loss, guys, it's okay. Don't get emotional. If the market hits our stop loss and goes down, it's okay. Do not get emotional. Okay. What do we want to do? We want to go ahead and just clear everything that just happened. Obviously, that did not work out. So let's just refresh, delete everything. Now, what can I see? Right? Let's take this and look at this like the market is downtrending in this specific area. What do I want to see as a levels trader if the market is downtrending? I would like to see liquidity being built or structure being built, liquidity sweep, change of direction, right? So if this happens, I want to refresh. This would be my BOS to the upside, and we just flip our zones, and this would be my change of direction. So my left shoulder would be here. And obviously with this little area being my pullback, I'm going to say this is my last buying candle. And we also have a starting point here. So if we get something like this, obviously this is a drawing, but if we can get something like this, that's 200 pips right there alone, right? Not too bad, not too shabby. We can sell the market 1 to 3, right? 1 to 3. If it plays out just like we want it, right? So that's not too bad. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. Let's see what EURUSD looks like. Kind of like similar areas, you know. I kind of like these zones. Especially down here. I don't mind this area at all. Notice how the market was uptrending, right? Market was uptrending. Can we see that the market was uptrending in this area, guys? Well, even, I mean, shoot, market was pushing, right? Market's pushing. With markets in momentum, I'm not trying to fight against momentum, guys. The market is heavily flowing. Hey, let it flow. We're on the higher time frame, guys. Check me out. Would this be considered a break of structure to the upside? Would you consider that a BOS, guys? Yes. Awesome. So this is what I want to do. I want to mark that up. That's my starting point. That's a big ass starting point for some of you guys, but hey, that's okay. That's a starting point. Maybe you take it on the daily time frame. If this is your setup on the daily time frame, guys, unfortunately, this is how it has to be. This is it. Minimum 1 to 3. But never fear. Like, I know a lot of you guys, especially when you're new, you're like, oh my God, like that's huge. Like that's huge. Like, guys, do you guys want to hold positions for a couple days, for a couple weeks? Or do you guys want to hold it for 15 minutes? You guys tell me. Do you guys want to hold positions so you guys don't have to trade every day? And you could just make money as you sleep, as you work, as you eat, as you shower, as you use number one, number two. Like, y'all just doing your life, and money is just like ticking, 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 ticking. Guys, higher time frame, it's where it's at. I'm not saying you can't scalp, but like if you really want to hold positions, this is the daily setup. Under leverage, bro. Under leverage. A lot of you guys are like, bro, that's a big ass stop loss. I usually risk $20. That's 200 for me, bro. Under leverage, right? Or maybe you're like, bro, I only risk 200. That's 2,000, bro. Under leverage, guys. Okay, I'm telling you, it'll help a lot. These right here, big stop. I mean, I'm a fan of big stop losses. I'm not gonna lie. And when you back test, you're gonna find out that these types of stop losses work out a lot better than these types of stop losses. Just saying. I know my boy Jose has been back testing with me for the last couple days, the last couple weeks. I'm pretty sure he can, attest to that. If this is the zone, and this goes for every time frame, right? If this is the 1 hour setup, guys, put your stop loss where it should be. Stop putting it like this. Okay, it's gonna help out a lot. Now I'm looking for buys there. Now, as the market is on its way, bigger the time frame, bigger the bag. Let's go. As the market's on its way to my buy zone, guys, what should I be doing? As the market is dropping down to my buy zone, what should I be doing, guys? Adjusting my structure, adjusting my lines. So let's go ahead. Boom, break a structure to the downside, right? I promise you guys, a lot of your confusion, and I understand if you're new, but that can only be an excuse for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you're a month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, 4 months in, 5 months in, like, you're not so new. You're a year in, you're not so new. You should be looking at marking up your charts, because when you mark up your charts, you know exactly where you are in the market and you can stay accurate with the market, right? Now, if the market wanted to go ahead and reverse, I would like to see the market change direction. Left shoulder, neckline, head, change of direction. Let's start looking for more buys and shift the market higher. But let's see if that happens. Nope. Market actually respects. Remember how we broke down a couple of weeks ago, guys? Understanding your counter trend reversals, or your counter trends. That counter trend was respected on the way to my trend continuation. BOS, right? My change of direction line is here now. Head, change of direction. If we can get this, we start looking for buys. Let's take a look. Market touched my zone. We have a break of structure here on the daily time frame. My change of direction line goes here now. Now I want to drop down to the lower time frame. Now let's take a look. Now again, I should already be in. Stop loss where it should be. Minimum 1 to 3 risks to award. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead, drop to lower time frame. I need to see this change of direction, guys. I need to see it. BOS, change of direction. Okay. Very, very important. Let's take a look. Market's going my way. Let's go ahead and adjust. I'm not at 1 to 1 yet. 1 to 1 is 20. I've actually been practicing a little bit different, guys. I used to be breaking even at 1 to 1 and taking partials at 1 to 2. I've been back testing, and I've been taking partials at 1 to 1 and breaking even at 1 to 2. So I've been flipping those, and that's been giving me some pretty solid results. So now I just took partials, right? So now I'm up $12, and I'm not going to break even until 1 to 2. Now, again, this is going to look funky because it's on the daily time frame, but just picture this on the 1 minute. Everything is the same. Okay, back test it. I'm telling y'all. Let's go ahead and continue. Now, if I'm looking at this, right, I already know. I'm just going to put this right here as mine. TP2 line, and then delete this for clarity. So I already know, guys, what do we see on this chart right now? Did we change direction? Yes, right? So let's go ahead, we mark it up. Change direction. My left shoulder is right here. Left shoulder. So I would be looking to take an opportunity right here. This is my second opportunity. If I can get this, 1 to 3. Let's go ahead. Market misses me. It actually respects the starting point, but that's okay because I want this right shoulder anyways. That's fine. But let's take a look. Market gives me my entry. I'm in profit on 2 trades right now. Looks like I'm at around a 1 to 1, so I would have partialed out there. Let's go ahead and put my 1 to 2 is around this one, so I'm just going to leave that. Right, I'm just going to delete it. And let's go ahead and continue. So now look at this, guys, right? On the way to my buy zone, what did we have? BOS. Guys, did we change direction? Did we change direction to the upside? Yes. I'm going to move and adjust my line. This is how I do it. Adjust your lines and stay fresh. How do we mark up the BOS? Oh, no. Rinse and repeat. How do you mark up the BOS? Oh, man. Luis, how new are you, bro? Oh, don't be scared, my boy. Hey, good. Nah, I'm just kidding. How new are you, bro? You fresh, like a month in? Oh, no, I scared him. My bad, G. My bad, G. All right. Pause. Because we have a lot of videos on this, guys. Simple stuff like that. I know you're not plugging in and watching videos. I know you're not. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're not watching the videos. Simple videos, I'm telling you guys. And that stops the class for everything else. But BOS. The market is trending. We have higher high, higher low. If we break structure, making new highs, this is called a BOS because the market broke structure. Higher high, higher low, BOS, the market broke structure. So that's what's called BOS. And the market would do the same thing on the opposite, right? It'll break structure to the downside. And we want to mark that up. That way we can stay accurate, right? BOS. We want to mark this up so we can stay accurate to the market, okay? Now, yes, we have a ton of videos on this, a ton of videos. So please watch those with detail. Take your notes. I promise you will understand. I believe Annie just sent in the link. So got you on that. So now we're in motion now, guys. We're flowing. We're flowing. Let's see. You're going to miss my TP, baby? Oh, I guess that's TP2. So now look, I am now going to break even. And I can go ahead and take some more partials if I want. How much am I up? I'm going to go ahead. 225. I'm a salad. Now I'm up $23. And now I'm in break even. So let's go ahead. We can delete this line. And now the very next best buy opportunity is right here, guys. Notice, what do we see? We change direction. What do we see after we change direction, guys? I want to test your eyes. Yes, it is, Andrew. We're back testing right now, bro. Trend line liquidity. Change direction. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. It took off, but it'll make its way back. It'll make its way back. But all that trend line liquidity just to take off, oh, it's gonna make its way back. Let's see if we hit TP. Oh, don't look like it. Okay, so that's live price right now. So if you entered way down here, technically you're in a profit. Your trade is riding. So now look, how long have we been holding this trade for? We've been holding this trade for 39 days. I don't know, guys. I would rather hold my trade for 39 days rather than 39 minutes. But that's just me. I don't want to have to trade every day to be in and out in 39 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Andrew. Welcome to the Swingers Club. These calls right here, bro. You're on higher time frames. You're marking up charts on higher time frames. You're now looking at swing opportunities, right? You're on lower time frames. You're in and out. But I want you to know anything that we look at, you can use the same information on higher time frames for swings and lower time frames for scalps, right? But for me personally, I don't want to be in and out. I want my money to continue making money, right? That's me personally. Everybody's going to look at it different. Yeah, scalps are in and out. You're in and out the market within an hour. Intraday, you're in and out the market within the same day. You don't hold your trade for another day, right? Scalps are swinging. You're holding for a couple days to a couple weeks to a couple months, right? Now, let's say the market can come back, like, make its way. Like, guys, this can respect, and we can still be holding this trade for another month or two as we continue to collect, right? Same thing with this one. We could have held this. We could be holding 2 trades right now, right? We could be holding 2 trades. So it's not like I'm just holding one. If the market's going to continue going my way, I'm going to continue to stack the swings, right? This is how I want to stack, guys. I hate because there are better ways to do it. And I'm going to end it like this. And for those who aren't on this call, they're not going to get the information and they're going to be doing it wrong while you guys are here getting the value and you'll be doing it right. I absolutely hate when I see, I'm just going to close it. I don't know what I just did. Anyways. Or whatever. Let me see. Play it through. All right. I absolutely hate, guys, when I see opportunities like this and people are entering in right here. I see entry. Oops. I see entry. And what the heck? Is it because it's replay mode? Entry. 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 The market drops. Entry. 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 Market drops. Entry. I hate when I see this shit. I hate it because there's no technical analysis. And honestly, you know what you could have done instead of dropping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trades? You could have just dropped one big ass trade. Just one big ass one. But people want to go ahead and do this instead of stacking it the right way. Right here. 1 opportunity, 2 opportunity, 3 opportunity, and send the market higher, right? 4 opportunity if the market can give us, what we want to see, right? 4 opportunity. Oh my goodness, come on, baby. Right? That's the proper way to stack, guys. This is the proper way to stack. I used to do this shit too. But guys, if you're in 5+ trades and 5+ trades all hit stop loss, I want you to tell me how emotional you're really going to be. It's different when 1 trade hits stop loss, but 5 or 6 or 7 trades hit stop loss. Yeah, I understand when they all go your way, but how many trades are actually going your way? Are you doing this to get money back? Are you doing this to be greedy? What are your thought processes on that? Because I guarantee you, if you're doing this rather than doing it the right way, I can almost guarantee you you're losing more money than you're making. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Because all it takes is one trade, and now you're in your emotions. Now you're revenge trading. Now you're trying to get it back. And that will never work out, guys. Once you're dead, you can come back from a bad day, a bad week, but coming back from a bad 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months, because you're doing this, trying to get money back from the previous month, that's when it starts to hit hard. That's when it starts to hit hard, right? So this is the proper way to stack properly. Let the market go and do its thing so we can properly find these entries. So the recommended time frame to trade is the 4 hour and higher. For me personally, in my opinion, higher time frames will always be respected for swings and to hold. If you're looking to hold, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. Right? If you want to be in and out an intraday, 1 hour or 1 minute up to the 4 hour or up to the 1 hour. Right? Trust me, just like we're looking at this structure right now on the 4 hour, we have similar structure on the 1 hour. I'm sorry, on the 1 minute. Right? If you're a scalper, you can catch these opportunities on lower time frames as well. Right? It's just what type of trader are you? You have to ask yourself that really. Now these are the pairs that I trade. I trade indices dominantly. Like that's what I look at every day on a daily basis to see if I can find something. Everything Forex, I'm never scalping. Anything Forex is always higher time frame because I'm looking to hold. Right? Indices, moves happen a lot quicker. So I'm preserving most of my capital for that. And lower time frames, in my opinion, they're just always wickish. They're a little toxic. They like to hit stop losses then run. Lower time frame structure usually gets disrespected. Higher time frame structure, it just holds the most weight. So I trade indices dominantly. I don't trade commodities, and this is my Forex list, but I never even trade all of them. I never trade EURUSD, GBPUSD. I never trade USD JPY. I rarely trade USD MXN. I mainly just trade AU and USD CAD. And I've been getting into the yens because I'm free around 6 to 7 p.m. So I want to see if I can catch something with some of these as well. But yeah, so if you really want to put something on it, AU, USD CAD, and these ones here. Okay, but in my opinion, now, depending on who you ask, this can have a different approach, right? But from my opinion and my experience, if you are a beginner trader, and I'm using beginner loosely, and I'm saying if you're within trading, if you've been trading for about a year, maybe even a year and a half, when it comes to indices, you are still beginner. Meaning you probably don't have your strategy down 100% yet. Okay. Practice your strategy on Forex pairs first. Yeah, from my understanding, it was only for Powerhouse members, and university has to access to call by IDK anymore. Yeah, that wasn't, yeah, that was strictly for Powerhouse. So yeah. But yeah, guys, if you're beginning, master the strategy on Forex pairs. Indices are for the big dogs. They're for the big dogs. Guys, if you're looking at this type of setup on a higher time frame, on the USD CAD, or what is this? EURUSD, this is 160 or no, 16 pips. No. 161. But on US 30, this is like 300. Right? So again, if you don't have the capital to trade it the right way. If this is how you're trading indices and you know your stop loss should be here, but your stop loss is here because your account can't hold it, you shouldn't be trading it. I don't believe in that. I don't think you should be trading indices unless you have around $5,000 to $10,000, in my opinion. Again, this is a topic that anybody can have an opinion on, but in my opinion, from what I see, anybody under a year or two isn't as sharp. They don't take it as serious. They kind of fool around. They don't have their strategy down packed very, very sharply. Guys, just practice on the Forex pairs. However much money you think you can make on indices, you can make the exact same thing on Forex pairs. It's all about leverage, right? When you can flip an account with Forex pairs and you're just smacking Forex pairs, guys, that's when you're ready for indices. Why would you practice, right? If you're beginning your career in trading, why would you practice on the hardest shit out there? You know how many people are trading indices? Everybody and their mama when it comes to Forex, stocks, options, futures. This is the most traded pairs in all markets, which means, guys, they don't want nobody to win. They're going to manipulate the fuck out of you. And if you're a beginner, I'm sorry, but you're going to get caught in that. And there's like no ends, ifs, or buts. Like you're going to get caught in that. So practice with Forex pairs with your strategy. Once you're able to flip an account, whether it's demo or live, boom, you're ready for indices. Okay. And in my opinion, same thing goes for commodities. You know, I don't think you guys should be trading commodities under like 5 to 10K, but you know, that's my opinion because I like trading comfortably. I don't want a tight stop loss because I have $500. You know, like I just don't see it that way. But again, depending on who you talk to, different topic. As long as you're comfortable trading it and your system is seeing results, I can't tell you nothing. As long as you're getting some results, man, you seeing some profits and your snowball effect is happening. You see some compounding happening for your account. I can't tell you nothing, man. You know, so find what works for you and continue to do with what's working. But I hope you guys had a great call. Guys, if you guys learned something, put that in the chat, whether it's the university or the powerhouse chat, because we talked about some different things. The market gave us some pretty good examples. And honestly, I felt like tonight's call was pretty fire because of the examples the market gave us. Right. So I hope you guys had a great week. Guys, continue back testing. Don't just watch me back test, guys. Like it's different watching back test. And I know my boy Jose can attest to this, right? Because we've been back testing hard for the last 2 weeks. It's different watching somebody back test, but getting your hands dirty and seeing that number in the corner move from negative to positive and watching your emotions, right? Keeping your emotions on check and thinking properly, making the right decisions. Guys, back test. Don't just watch. Me and Neri do these back testing calls so you can be familiar with back testing, but don't just watch. With NAS, I'm pretty interested in the market coming back way down here, especially with higher time frame. We literally swept liquidity and then took off. And on higher time frame, this is literally just a wick, which is effing nasty. So it looks like it wants to continue bullish. That's that's disgusting. So if we drop to a lower time frame, the daily time frame, I would like to see if the market can come back within these areas. I'm liking this as well. This would be my shoulder, but before we take off, we also get something that looks like a shoulder here as well. And then we get that. So if we can get something in here a little bit deeper, I would not mind. Yes, I would not mind because it's even deeper in the retracement. We get a better entry, right? So I also have this zone marked up as well, a starting point right before the change of direction. And then there's also an imbalance right there. And after we get this change of direction, guys, what can you see? What can you see, guys? What is happening? After we get this change of direction, what has been happening? Who can see it? Liquidity has been building up. This is a good thing, right? It is an uptrend type liquidity, right? But again, I'm looking for the market to smack, give me something. Let me hold $1, please, so we can go ahead and continue going higher. Okay. We'll love to see something like that. As of right now, I am seeing some possible continuations here, right? We had the inverted that came, boom. Now we have BOS, change of direction. So this would be the next buy opportunity in line when it comes to this structure and an uptrend. But then you guys have to understand, like, this is one trend line liquidity. And I do see your equal lows that you're talking about right here. So, right, I do see that. So we can already see trend line liquidity, equal lows. This isn't my favorite setup. Don't get me wrong. It could give you something, right? It could give you something for the day. But what if the next day, next 2 days, it's like this, right? I don't want to catch the move of the day. I want to catch the move of the month. I want the market to come back for me. And then we're just gone for the next 2-3 months, baby. Like, I don't have to worry about catching trades every day because I've been in for the last month, whether it's this zone, or even lower, right? So keep that in mind. I definitely like zones down here. Now, again, because we have equal lows here and the liquidity, it's very important we keep in mind what we talked about last time, especially with indices. If we know that we have liquidity there, if the market comes back down, even though I'm looking for buys at this level, if the market sweeps liquidity and changes direction and we get some liquidity to hold, guys, I want to take buys in this area. If I take a loss running my risk to reward, I'm okay with it because I originally wanted buys here. I get a better entry. And if we can get respect, then we have the next setup. It enticed me. It tricked me. It happens to us all. But now we have a clear direction of what the market wants to do. Does that make sense? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Because sometimes you're going to get tricked, and that's okay. As long as you have good money management, you break even, you take partials. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it might smack you back real quick, a little bit, smack you around. It's not going to be easy, right? But that's why we stay locked and loaded with alerts and we take opportunities, okay? Because I'm looking for something like this. Now, again, this may take a minute, but when it happens, y'all gonna be eating good for sure. And I'm looking for this with all indices. All indices look very, very similar, right? Very, very similar. So just keep that in mind. But I hope you guys had a great call. Again, blast the info that you learned, all the clicking moments that you had in the chats, because guys, people need this. They need this information, bro. Like, I know a lot of you guys are actually learning and you guys are getting better. You guys are developing, which is actually pretty dope to see. Like, I talked to Miguel. I'm like, bro, these guys are actually learning something from me, which is dope. Like, I give a lot of time and value and I give a lot of energy to you guys. But, when I see the charts and they're just looking crispy, I'm like, oh, bro, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before that compounding starts to happen and you guys start seeing real results. And I'm excited for you guys. I'm super excited. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys had a great session. Back test. Don't wait for me or Neri. Get your hands dirty. Take initiative for yourself because, hey, we can't do this for you, man. We can't do this for you. So you guys have a great weekend and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out, fam.